Armani Floyd, her father, driving in from Minnesota as soon as he heard the news to be by her side.
This is just horrible for us right now. It's a horrible time in our life. It's so close to Thanksgiving, and we're supposed to be giving back and not taking away.
Floyd was killed Friday night after a so-called teen takeover in the Loop ended in chaos. A shooting outside the Chicago theater injured several teens, and another shooting near Dearborn and Monroe injured a teen and killed Floyd.
He was out there fighting for a coat that some kids were taking from him, and he's a great kid. He's a basketball star.
Floyd's family is now making funeral arrangements, but his father says his son was much more than a victim of violence.
He was a good kid. Like I said, he had a 3.7 grade average, and he participated in productive and prosperous things in the community.
Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins says incidents like this are exactly why he fought for a curfew ordinance.
My ordinance would have allowed them to start much earlier as 8 p.m. when the event really began. It could have prevented the loss of life. We could have stopped that event.
In the meantime, Floyd's father says he has worked many years as a violence interrupter, often taking his son with him in the community. He says he hopes something changes so another family does not have to experience a tragic loss.
I've been to more funerals than I have been to graduations, and so I want all this to stop.
Karen Jordan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Just a heartbreaking story. Karen, thank you for that. Tonight, new video just into our newsroom showing police arresting a woman known for her role in the Slender Man stabbing case. She was found here in Illinois after she escaped a group home in Wisconsin. Now, video showing the police talking to Morgan Geyser and another person outside a gas station in Posen last night. Police received a call about two people loitering and sleeping on the sidewalk. The video showing Geyser giving the officers a fake name before eventually revealing her real name. Geyser and a friend lured a classmate into the woods, then stabbed her 19 times to appease the fictional character Slender Man. Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental disease and was sentenced to 40 years in a mental institution. She was released to a group home earlier this year and told to wear a monitoring bracelet, which she allegedly cut off before escaping this weekend.
It's extremely concerning that you would so blatantly violate a very, very simple condition, which is to stay in a placement and keep a bracelet on.
Geyser faces an extradition hearing tomorrow. Police arrested 43-year-old Chad Mecca with Geyser. Mecca is charged with criminal trespass and obstructing identification.
The charges dropped against former FBI Director James Comey and New York's Attorney General Letitia James. A judge found the Trump administration's appointment of the prosecutor in the cases was illegal. ABC's Karen Travers at the White House will look at why this legal fight is still far from over.
President Trump put immense pressure on the Justice Department and the Attorney General to move forward with these prosecutions. Lindsay Halligan is the president's hand-picked U.S. attorney, and she moved forward with these indictments over the objections of career prosecutors.
Today, the criminal cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James have been thrown out by a federal judge in Virginia. Their attorneys had argued that Lindsay Halligan, the prosecutor President Trump handpicked for the job, was illegally appointed. Justice Department lawyers said that the Attorney General has the authority to make successive interim picks. But today, federal judge Cameron McGowan Curie called Halligan's appointment invalid and the indictments of James and Comey unlawful exercises of executive power. She said Halligan had no lawful authority to present the indictments. President Trump chose Halligan, his former personal lawyer with an insurance background with no experience as a prosecutor, to replace a career prosecutor he had previously appointed who had refused to charge Comey. Comey pleaded not guilty to making a false statement and obstructing Congress.
I know that Donald Trump will probably come after me again, and my attitude's going to be the same. I'm innocent. I am not afraid.
In court last week, Comey's lawyers called the case vindictive, pointing to Trump's social media post demanding prosecution of his political enemies, including Comey and James, writing, "We can't delay any longer." If this is not a direction to prosecute, Comey's lawyer argued, I'd really be at a loss to say what is. Last year, the New York Attorney General won a multi-million-dollar judgment against the president and his organization in a civil lawsuit, alleging he defrauded banks by overstating the value of his his real estate holdings on financial statements. James pleaded not guilty to charges that she committed mortgage fraud. In a statement, James said she's heartened by today's victory and remains fearless in the face of these baseless claims.
The White House says the facts of the indictments against James Comey and Letitia James have not changed, and this will not be the final word on this matter. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the Justice Department will appeal the rulings. Reporting from the White House, Karen Travers, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Karen, thanks. The Defense Department investigating Democratic Senator Mark Kelly over what it calls, quote, serious allegations of misconduct. President Trump has been pushing for Kelly, a retired U.S. Navy captain, and 5 other Democratic lawmakers to face consequences. It's over this video the group posted, telling service members they can refuse illegal orders. The Trump administration called it, quote, seditious and treason. The Pentagon says Kelly could be recalled to active duty and face a court-martial or other discipline.
Nursing organizations nationwide are signaling concern over the Department of Education's classification of career paths that fall under the designation of professional degrees. However, the Department of Education says the federal definition of professional degree has been in effect for decades and has never included nursing. Rob Hughes here tonight with a look at the wide-ranging implications.
It's just such an insult to nurses everywhere.
Teresa Peterson is a nurse specializing in post-anesthesia care. Her concentration required an advanced nursing degree, a course of study that some healthcare professionals worry is threatened by changes made by the Department of Education.
I just feel at this time we should be increasing our resources for our nurses, not cutting our resources. If we are supposed to be providing great care to patients, we need resources, we need education.
While traditional four-year nursing programs are not impacted by the changes, the Trump administration's One Big Beautiful Bill Act is capping federal student loan borrowing for master's and doctoral level degrees starting in July. A nursing degree, for example, tops out at $100,000 in federal loan access, while students pursuing doctoral degrees can borrow twice that amount.
There aren't enough anesthesia providers out there, so nurse practitioners and nurse anesthetists fill that gap. And if they don't, those degrees cost a lot of money to achieve. And if you don't have the money to go to school, then you're just going to exacerbate the shortages in the healthcare system.
The Department of Education pushing back on the criticism from the public health community, telling ABC News that the suggested loan limits are more than reasonable because the average cost for Masters of Science in nursing programs range from $15,000 to $43,000.
The degrees that it will impact most would be the nurse anesthesia degrees. Those are quite expensive, and they are more than $100,000. They typically run between $120,000 and $140,000.
Rob Hughes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Rob, thanks. Toys to avoid this holiday season. A watchdog group reveals its official list. And one of the items you heard about right here on ABC 7.
A family blaming a suburban bar after a woman is killed in a drunk driving crash.
And scientists hope the popular weight loss drug could help slow a different devastating disease.
The family of a mother killed by a drunk driver is taking legal action tonight. A new lawsuit claiming the person responsible for the crash in Hotchkiss was behind the wheel with an alcoholic drink allegedly provided by a bar in nearby Countryside. Sarah Schulte has more tonight on the woman killed and the lawsuit filed by her family.
It was the holiday season last year when a mother of two was killed by a drunk driver. The man charged in her death had just left this Countryside bar with, according to a lawsuit filed today, a Red Bull and vodka to go. For Eliza Lopez and her younger sister, Elia Phillips, this year will be the first Thanksgiving without their mother. Tanya Navarro was killed last year on December 13th. The 44-year-old was a backseat passenger in a friend's disabled van when a truck driven by Finn Curran smashed into the back of it on LaGrange Road in southwest suburban Hotchkiss.
My mom was my only living parent, so she was taken away from me 6 days after I got engaged. So that just kind of makes it a little heavier than it already was.
On behalf of her mother's estate, Eliza Lopez is not only filing a civil suit against Curran, but the bar where he drank before the deadly accident. The lawsuit says the 22-year-old stopped at Rafferty's Irish Pub in Countryside after work. He spent over 4 hours at the bar. Attorney Joseph Murphy says Curran was over twice the legal limit when he hit the van.
Mr. Curran's truck slammed into the back of the vehicle that Tanya was in at 80 to 90 miles per hour, according to the defendant, Mr. Curran.
According to the lawsuit, after several hours of drinking at the bar, Curran asked for a double shot of vodka. The bartender cut him down to one, but also gave him a Red Bull and vodka to go when Curran left Rafferty's in his truck.
The fact that the bar decided to give Curran an extra drink when they knew full well that he was intoxicated shows that the bar was choosing profits over the safety of the public.
Illinois state law holds businesses that serve alcohol liable for injuries caused by an intoxicated patron, but damages are capped at $107,000, a figure some state lawmakers say is likely not enough. Tanya Navarro's daughters say their mother's death was entirely preventable.
So I'm now planning a wedding without either my mother or my father. So, getting justice for this means a lot to me because she was all I had.
Finn Curran was criminally charged with felony DUI. He pled not guilty, but his case is back in court on January 20th, and he is expected to change his plea. Meantime, Rafferty's Pub had no comment. In Countryside, Sarah Schulte, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Sarah, thanks. Negotiators revising a U.S. proposed plan to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. U.S., European, and Ukrainian leaders had high-stakes peace talks in Geneva today. The U.S. plan had been widely criticized because it gives Russia more territory, slashes the Ukrainian military, and blocks Ukraine from joining NATO. A deadline for Ukraine to agree, once threatened by the Trump administration, now appears to be slipping.
Right now, we are at a critical moment, and we are working closely with the United States, with European partners, with many, many others to define steps that can end Russia's war against us.
And overnight, Russia struck Kharkiv, killing 4 people, injuring 17 others. Ukrainian negotiators now heading home to brief President Zelensky.
Now to an ABC News exclusive with the grandparents of the Florida teenager who was found dead on a Carnival cruise. Today, her death officially ruled a homicide. The grandparents of the Florida teenager found dead on a Carnival cruise ship are talking only to ABC News. They tell Victor Akindo about the stepbrothers' involvement in the investigation.
This morning, for the first time, the grandparents of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who died on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month, breaking their silence.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner were on board the 7-day cruise in the Caribbean with their son, his wife, and their grandchildren, enjoying time as a family. Anna staying with her brother and stepbrother in a stateroom, seen here.
Do you remember the last time that you saw Anna?
We had dinner. Anna wasn't feeling well. She just said, Mima, I think I'm going to go back to my room for a little bit. And she must have felt better because she got dressed up and she came down. We were playing in the casino. She didn't win anything, and she said, Mima, I love you guys. I'll see you later. And we never saw her again after that.
The next morning, an announcement over the ship's broadcast system changed everything.
They called for a medical alert team to go to a stateroom. And when they said the number, I recognized the number immediately. The room steward that was going in to clean the room is the one that found her.
She was found concealed under the bed. I was told that she pulled back the mattress and found Anna.
What did the FBI say was the official cause of death?
The FBI contacted my son and family and told us her cause of death was asphyxiation.
Anna's grandmother said one possibility they're considering whether it was caused by a so-called bar hold, an arm across the neck.
You take the elbow like this. They said when they took her body to the medical examiner's office, it was in perfect condition.
Kepner telling ABC News they were told their granddaughter's body showed no signs of sexual assault or drugs or alcohol in her system. In an unrelated custody dispute, Anna's stepmother calling Anna's stepbrother, who is a minor, a suspect in Anna's death.
Do you think he had anything to do with Anna's death?
I mean, he was in a room with her. He was the only one seen coming and going. So I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room. But the summation would be that he did something.
And has he said anything to you about what happened?
I heard him, in his own words, say he does not remember what happened.
Anna's stepbrother has not been arrested or charged with the crime. Attorneys for both the stepbrother's parents did not respond to ABC's request for comment. The FBI and medical examiner's office also declined to comment. Anna's family focused now on honoring their granddaughter, a high school senior and straight-A student who planned to join the military.
She had purpose. She wanted to do things. This little tiny 110-pound girl, she was mighty.
We are still waiting for the official toxicology and autopsy reports to be released. Barbara and Jeffrey still don't know exactly what happened in that room. They might never know. For now, they are grieving Anna, who they say wanted to join the Navy and had a bright future ahead. Victor Okendo, ABC News, Miami.
Victor, thank you for that update. An ingredient in a popular weight loss drug like Ozempic and Wegovy fails to slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Smaller trials have suggested that GLP-1s might help slow cognitive decline or reduce neural inflammation. Novo Nordisk did a larger trial focusing on the active ingredient, semaglutide. They found that the drug did lead to improvements in Alzheimer's-related biomarkers, but did not delay the progression of the disease.
Some perennial problems and new tech top this year's list of potentially dangerous toys. Experts spreading the word at Lurie Children's Hospital before a big weekend of holiday shopping. The annual Trouble in Toyland report focused on toxins in toys and AI toys.
We successfully tested 3 different AI toys to see how they work and if they have obvious problems. We found they do. They may share inappropriate content with kids or use new tactics to keep kids playing with the toy for longer.
Experts say be sure to check if toys are on the recall list before buying from online marketplaces. They also stress the dangers of water beads and button batteries. They present choking hazards. Disney Plus and Hulu offering a big Black Friday deal. You can now get the Disney Plus and Hulu bundle for just under $5 a month for the first year. That's a yearly savings of nearly $100 compared to the regular monthly subscription price. You'll be able to enjoy films like Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four, First Steps, and hit shows including High Potential. You see that on ABC7 too.
And Disney is our parent company, so just head to our news app or our website for more details, just so you can sign up. Soothing animals at one local shelter. A 12-year-old's idea to keep them calm is now becoming a reality.
Great idea. Yeah. Talking turkey at the White House. Meet this year's lucky birds looking to get pardoned.
And a gloomy day on the way tomorrow and some wintry changes ahead for the holiday. Greg Dutra in the house. He has your AccuWeather forecast on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
Anti-Cruelty in Chicago launches a new program. This is to provide some soothing music to animals in the shelter. It's called Wild Tunes, and the idea came from a 12-year-old boy who noticed music helped calm his dog. So he wanted to extend that same experience to shelter animals. Anti-Cruelty Chicago already has dozens of volunteer musicians signed up to play or sing at their downtown adoption center. That is such a great idea.
It's perfect. Isn't there a saying, music soothes a savage beast?
Yeah, oh, you're
like,
right.
Isn't that
yeah,
and it soothes like humans too. I mean,
they
music
seem very
is an equalizer.
Sweet. I don't see the savage beast in them. Yeah, they're very cute. They're kind, but that would be.
Music is so calming.
Well, imagine you're going to adopt, and then you hear that. It probably help.
You've got violinists there, piano players, trumpet players, saxophone players. Can you imagine? Because they're going to be live musicians.
Yeah.
That's going to be really nice.
You could go sing to them.
I mean,
I should have.
Okay, that might not be so soothing.
You sing often on this show.
I'm thankful for you this Thanksgiving week, so I'm just going to let that one pass.
Yeah, you have to be kind to me because it's Thanksgiving week.
And I should have known because every time my kid, my 1-year-old is freaking out in the car, I play farm animal noises. Like,
see?
You will drive by me, my windows will be down, and my car will just be going, like actual legit ones.
No, wait, is this for the girls or the boy?
The boy.
Okay, he's a little fella.
He shuts it down, man, like real live pigs. Like he gets into it. So it's a big deal.
Great learning lesson. He's going to know his farm animals.
Right, he's going to love a farm.
And the realistic ones, he's not going to do cow says moo. He's going to make the moo sound. All right, so here are just the bullet points. If you're taking anything away from the next 7 days, take away that it's active and then these 3 main points. 1, it's going to be gloomy on Tuesday. Drizzle and rain continuing not only now, but through the overnight, and lots of fog early tomorrow morning and throughout the day tomorrow. So if you're traveling anywhere, just know that the visibility is going to be reduced, whether you're headed into Iowa, you're going into Missouri, southern portions of Illinois, and this is also making its way into Indiana. Secondly, Thanksgiving travel looks good locally. The only problem we're going to have is it is going to be windy as all get out, and wind chills are going to be in the upper teens to about 20 degrees. So keep your eyes and ears on that. And then post-turkey, we may have to break out the shovels and burn off some of those calories. We've got models at odds for snowfall, but if it does indeed snow, it's looking like 6 inches or more is possible. Now, off to the south, we are tracking a portion of the system that's across our area that is still at this hour producing not only tornado watch boxes, but even a severe thunderstorm warning. This also produced right around Houston, a tornado that was caught on camera. So confirmed tornado already out of the southern extent of that. We get a much tamer northern side of this, but still plenty of rain, plenty of moisture. That'll keep the rain, drizzle, and fog in the area for the next 24 hours. Now, shortly after that, this system comes ripping in from the Pacific Northwest. Been tracking this since early on Saturday, and as it does so, it's going to produce snow, but that snow is a near miss for us. It stays off to the north, and while we may see some snowflakes here or there, it's not going to be the big old accumulation that some may be getting through the Twin Cities as you see it rotate through, and then central and northern portions of Wisconsin. But yes, indeed, we will see on the tail end of this some of those snow showers move in, especially as those winds turn northwest. It'll mainly be lake effect, again, late in the week after Thanksgiving for southern portions of Michigan and then northwest Indiana. So tracking this rain here through tonight, the heaviest of which, or I guess the most widespread of which is probably a better way to put it, will happen during the overnight hours. And as you wake up tomorrow, it's just going to be fog. It's just going to be drizzle. Temperatures hang around the mid to upper 40s, and then the cold front rolls on through behind this system, and that really changes what's going on in terms of our temperatures. Now, as system number 2 rolls in, I mentioned those winds turn northwesterly. Early on Wednesday, late on Tuesday, we may see some rain showers before things wrap themselves up there. So for Thanksgiving itself, that is going to be dry for us. Remember I said travel locally will be good. So mainly sunny skies, very windy, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, wind chills that stay in the teens to around 20. Black Friday stays on the cool side of things too. And as we track futurecast into the weekend, here's another system. This is the European model. It puts a decent amount of snow across the area, and that is break out the shovels type stuff. 6+ inches of snow possible for us there. The GFS coming on board with this. This is the brand new latest run that puts us in more in terms of snowfall, and we could be seeing those totals approaching, even on the GFS, closer to about 3 inches. So they were pretty far apart when I started off today. Now not so much, but yeah, high end, we're talking 6, maybe 8 or 9 inches through the southern portions of our viewing area on that European weather model. It is going to be an active 7-day forecast.
Looks like it. Thanks. lyrics. Okay. I don't think you can.
All right, we have to go, but I was going to ask you what you want me to sing, but we got to go. So, yeah,
shucks.
It's a
Anything.
Thanksgiving Day tradition. Yeah, we have to talk about. We have a preview of the newest balloons appearing Thursday during Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's better than.
I'll work on a song for the week for you.
Keeping with tradition, 2 lucky turkeys could get a reprieve this Thanksgiving.
Well, President Trump is expected to pardon Gobble and Waddle tomorrow. They are from a farm in North Carolina. So let's take a sneak peek, though, of some of the new gigantic balloons that will be flying over Manhattan during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year. Mario, Pac-Man, Buzz Lightyear, and Shrek are joining the lineup. How fun is that? And volunteers were testing them out earlier this month. What a fun job. Would you guys ever
That would
try
be
to
fun.
do
Right.
that?
To do it, yeah. I would love it. I'd love to hold one.
Right, and see how that works.
Right.
You keep the wind down.
Sing us to the break.
All right. Good night. We'll see you at 10.